'cause it's a super sweet symphony, this life. Learn to make ends meet. You create your own money, then you fly. It takes you down the only road that you can go down. You know, the one that takes you to the places where all of us meet, yeah. Oh, change, I can change, I can change, I can change, 'cause I'm here in my moment, I'm here in my moment. Touch a million different people from one day to the next. I can change my moment, oh, 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 oh. Well, I always pray, and tonight I'm on my knees, yeah. I love to hear some sounds, recognize the light in me, yeah. I let the melody shine, let it cleanse my mind. I feel free now. And the airwaves are clean, and my beloved is singing to me now. Oh, change, I can change, I can change, I can change, 'cause I'm here in my moment, I'm here in my moment. Touch a million different people from one day to the next. I can change my moment, oh, 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 oh. I can change, I can change, I can change, I can change. I can change, I can change, I can change. 'Cause it's a super sweet symphony, this life. Learn to make ends meet. You create your own money, then you fly. Oh, change, I can change, I can change, I can change, 'cause I'm here in my moment, I'm here in my moment. Touch a million different people from one day to the next. I can change my moment, oh, 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 oh. I can change, I can change, I can change, I can change. I can change, I can change, I can change, I can change. Just love and guidance, melody and silence. 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 Just love and guidance, melody and silence.
Find a comfortable position. Allow your body to relax. Take a slow, deep breath in and gently breathe out. Again, breathe in peace and breathe out any tension. One more time. Breathe in God's love and breathe out everything you no longer need. Take a moment to simply be here. There is nowhere else you need to be. Nothing you need to fix. Nothing you need to prove. Just be present with God. Now, imagine yourself standing in a beautiful open field. The sun is warm, a gentle breeze touches your face. You feel completely safe. God is with you here. You don't have to earn His love. You don't have to become someone else. You are simply invited to be Him. Take another slow breath. As you stand here, notice that you are carrying a heavy backpack. This backpack represents every false identity you have carried through your life. May it says, I am not enough. I have to prove myself. I need someone else to complete me. I have to control everything. I have to be perfect. Or perhaps there are other beliefs that only you know. There is no need to judge them. Simply notice them. These beliefs once tried to protect you. Thank them for that they tried to do. And now recognize that you no longer need to carry them. God never created you to live from fear. He created you to live from love. Now imagine taking the backpack off your shoulders. Feel how much lighter you become. Place it gently at God's feet. There is nothing to force, nothing to fight. Simply allow Him to take what no longer belongs to you. Take a deep breath. Feel the freedom. Now ask God quietly in your heart, who do you say I am? Do not force an answer. Simply remain open. Perhaps you hear a word. Perhaps you feel peace. Perhaps you simply experience His presence. Whatever comes is perfect. Allow His truth to settle gently into your heart. Maybe He's remind you are loved, you are safe, you are worthy, you belong, you are guided, you are never alone. Breathe these words into every part of your being. Now, imagine a beautiful golden light surrounding you. This light is God's love. It fills your heart, your mind, your body, every part of you. This light gently replaces every false beliefs with divine truth. You don't have to become someone different. You are simply remembering who you have always been in God. Feel your heart becoming lighter, more peaceful, more open. Now bring your awareness on area of your life where you have been holding on to silently. Perhaps it's your union, your life purpose, your future, your finances, your healing, or something else. Notice that you are holding it in your hands. Now, gently open your hands. Offer it to God. Say quietly within yourself, God, I trust you. I choose your way. I choose your timing. I choose your love. Guide me one step at a time. Take a slow breath. Notice how trust feels in your body. Your true security is not found in an identity. Is not found in another person. It is not found in success. Your true security lives in your relationship with God, and that relationship is always available, always present, always loving. Take one final deep breath. Feel gratitude for this moment, gratitude for your journey, gratitude that every step is leading you closer to your true divine design. As you return to your day, remember this simple truth. You do not need to become someone else. You only need to continue choosing love, choosing truth, choosing God. Take one last deep breath in and slowly breathe out. When you are ready, gently bring your awareness back to the room. Wiggle your fingers. Move your toes. Open your eyes. Carry this peace with you today. And remember, God is walking with you every step of the way.
Hi and welcome. We are Daniel and Carmen, and we have the honor to provide today's card reading for you. And we will be pulling from the card deck Oracle of the Angels by
Mario Duguay.
Mario Duguay. So we already pre-shuffled the cards, and the very first card for you today is Higher Thought, card number 10.
Yeah, so what I get from this card is that when you embark on the twin flame journey, you start to align with higher thoughts, meaning that you start to release all these things that keep you in a low vibration. For example, thinking that separation is real, right? Like there is no perfect person for you, or like whether twin flames are real or not, right? Like all these things that make you question, is this real, or am I just making things up? Is it just my imagination, right? That's like a low thought that keeps your vibration in that place. But as you start to awaken to these higher thoughts, you start to realize, like, in truth, everything is one. It has never been separate, but we we're not taught to see that union or that oneness in our lives, right? Like we are one with our twin flame, we are one with our creator, we are one with our brothers in soul. And so as you start to release these thoughts, you get to a higher consciousness of realizing that love is everything and love is all around you. And that's what I mean, or that's what I get from this higher thought card, which is like a stair towards like the sun or the sky, which means a higher consciousness. This is in truth what we are all arising. It's the ascension process of a higher thought of love, unconditional love, or Christ consciousness. This is like what we are all awakening to realize that all that love, all that union already exists within us. It's part of us, and we're also part of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that the way is the process, right? We don't need to arrive there in order to see that we are divine and we are worthy of it and that we finally can be happy, but it's about enjoying the process of getting there.
Mhm.
Yeah, nice, beautiful, feels complete. So the next card is number 35, initiation. We have another staircase here, and 3 doors, and kind of like the chakra colors on the stairs.
Yeah, again, the stairs. This is really, I think, about just walking the process of the higher thought. That's your initiation, right? Like sometimes we focus a lot on the end result, which can be like the sun or that we were seeing in the other card and in this one, right? But to get there, you need to walk the process, to take just one step at a time. That's really what takes you where you want to be. Just one step and then the other and then the other. And when you realize, instead of seeing like this big jump of like, oh, I'm here and I need to get here, you take one step, one step, one step. Maybe you look back and you realize like, oh, I started here, now I am here, right? And maybe you look again later and you're like, now you're here, right? So that's the initiation. It's just taking one step at a time, the one that it's in front of you. And this can be sometimes like, opening yourself to like a higher thought, like, hey, love is real. Or it can be just like, hey, be open to receive love. It's just that process of taking little steps and just doing what is in front of you. Maybe it's just, realizing that, yeah, you are a twin flame. That's your next step. And that's perfect.
I feel I had something too. Let me see. Yeah, also realizing that you are not your blocks, right? You are more than your blocks. You are not your feelings. You are a divine being. You're a divine child of God. And it's already there for you. And you just allow yourself to relax into it. And as Daniel said, like take the next steps towards it. And small steps count more than trying to, do the big steps and then burning out.
Yeah. Yes. And to finish, there is like this sage or mage looking up, right? Don't like just watch, but really take the steps, right? I think that's what he's doing. He's contemplating where he could be before taking the steps, right? So just make sure that you just do it, and one step at a time will get you where you want.
Yeah.
It's not a big jump, but just walk the journey. And so for our closing card, we have Angel Whispers.
Beautiful. I feel this card actually speaks to that the divine, that God is in every moment communicating with you, that signs, synchronicities on your way are not to be, get tripped up on and think like, oh my God, I saw 11:11 today. So that means, my twin flame comes back home, or like union is going to happen. Sure, it's there to reassure you as well, but it's also pointing you deeper to the truth within, that you are already in union, that, you are never alone. Yet you always have someone, something with you, and that something is God. You are never alone. And seeing that and listening to that, listening to your intuition here, and whatever you feel in your heart, whatever you feel in your gut, whenever you get goosebumps, I get goosebumps right now. It's like, for me, it's always a sign like, ooh, I'm onto something here. We're getting somewhere. And, it's like nice seeing it as a confirmation, but also consulting with your feelings there. They are your compass. And yeah, the divine is always with you. always guiding you.
Yeah, it's the divine wants you to be in union, right? Like this is something I used to think at the beginning of my journey, like, oh, it's just me who wants to be with my twin flame, right? Like maybe God wishes that for me or prays for it to happen, but he's not really behind it. I think this is what the angel whispers, like someone on a higher level, God, the universe, it's like, hey, you want to be in union, like it's like this little whisper of like, hey, don't you want this other thing? And you start to realize that and be like, oh, maybe there is something that I want that it's like beyond my dreams, right? Like it's not just you alone. It's like the universe teasing you like, hey, you can have this too. And then you start processing that. Oh, I think I want this. So yeah.
Yeah, saying yes to it. The universe actually wants it more than you want for yourself.
Yeah.
Actually conspires itself to bring it to you, and sometimes looks like upsets and blocks coming up for you to purify your consciousness to be actually able to receive that thing. So yeah, see it as a confirmation. You're doing good, and keep working the process. Nice. So thank you for joining us for this card reading today, and we hope you enjoy the rest of the service.
Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Alberto and Manuela, and we are introducing the sermon by Laurencio and Alexandra. And the sermon primarily talks about identity and like letting go of old identities and how old identities like really kind of like hold you back because you have this belief that you're this like you're trying to build success in one area of your life, but because you're holding on to this old identity, it's like you're not able to really advance the way that you wish you could. And I guess I just want to give like a brief example of like what our experience is and like what we're going through right now, which is we're releasing poverty consciousness, like like heavy poverty consciousness, like where you're kind of always surviving and not thriving. Especially being neurodivergent, like for me, I am autistic and I have ADHD. I'm also hypersensitive, like high sensitivity. So yeah, like it's hard like being on Earth, I guess, with all the noises and all the stuff and like the whole thing. But like knowing that identity, like that is a part of who I am, but it doesn't have to stop me from thriving. Like just because I have ADHD, I don't need to be like all over the place scattered. I just have to learn how to manage my ADHD, which means investing into myself deeply, which the opposite of that is not investing into myself, neglecting myself, which is a form of poverty consciousness. So I'm personally healing all of that. And yeah, like with our finances and stuff, like letting go of just like middle class energy. Like for instance, like my family was always like kind of middle class, upper middle class. Yeah, like kind of they were like upper middle class and letting go of like thinking like that's all I can be. Like I can't be like on the next level of like true wealth, like financial abundance. And then yeah. So yeah, that's really the identity that I feel like we're letting go of is poverty consciousness and manifesting like abundance, prosperity consciousness in all areas of our life. And knowing that even though we don't know how we're going to get there, like God knows the way, God knows how to get us into that space where we are able to magnetize our like our true financial vibration. Yeah. And obviously that financial vibration is going to be a reflection of our inner state, right? Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So that's the identity that I'm personally that we're both letting go of is that poverty consciousness in all areas of our life. Yeah.
For me, one of the things that resonates is letting go of my old identity from, like, for example, I'm always been a cook. I've been working in restaurant for 20 years. But now I'm letting go of all that, like being a cook in a restaurant, and I'm stepping in this new like energy of being a private chef.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like letting go of that identity, like working at a restaurant is really different, and the standards are higher of like in my new job.
Yeah.
And yeah, that is something that I've been working through, like healing a lot in my new job and all the abscess, and yeah, it's something like that I'm gonna do, because it's the something that God want me to do. Like it's something that God want me to serve in.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah. So like you're letting go of like like an old identity of like maybe less professionalism, embracing that you're a professional chef now.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a big identity shift, going from being a line cook to being a private chef for a very important rich family.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah. So I feel like, is that all you want to share?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I feel like we feel complete with this part. And I feel like I hope this helped you guys in like the topic of identity and like embracing your divine identity with God, even though it might not make sense in the moment, but like God knows better than you know. He's like supremely intelligent and he is guiding you to where you truly want to be. So yeah, I hope this helped you. And I invite you to tie to the Church of Union at unionism.org. And I hope you guys enjoy the sermon, and we will see you after the sermon. Bye.
Hello, we are Laurencio and Alexandra, and we will be your executive ministers of Union for today, for this sermon.
Yep. Let's start as usual with our 3 opening ohms and with our opening prayer. You can follow along in your heart or aloud. And now for our opening prayer.
I am the only child of God, forever part of Him. I am created by Him in perfection, and there I always remain. My mind is my sanctuary where I keep His holy creation sacred. I will only allow in His voice. I will only accept His words.
Today I will hear the word of God. I surrender myself to His teachings through His divine channel. I will honor what He has spoken and accept it as His will. I will be obedient to His word, for this is my salvation. In Christ's name, Amen. Welcome, everybody. Today, we wanted to discuss with you and in this sermon about the topic of identity and how to align your identity with your own divine identity. I think this is one of those topics that I don't think we think a lot in our lives. It's how we are meant to be. Like what is our soul design in a way? Who are we really meant to be? Not in the way that we think, not in the way that we want, but in the way that we have actually been created by God. Because what we know from the teachings of union is that you would experience the most, love and joy and abundance and satisfaction into your life the moment that you live a God-centered life, right? So living a God-centered life means that you choose also to align with your divine identity, you align with who God created you to be. And this is an ongoing process, in us healing separation, maybe like on the twin flame journey, or even, afterwards, maybe you're in union or you're in separation, you're in harmonious union, like it doesn't matter. Like you will always kind of choose to embody and work through the separation consciousness that it is between you and God until, we ascend and we achieve that complete sense of oneness with God, which we call perfect union. So that is essentially kind of like, in a way, a goal. I'm not sure if we can say the goal, but it's definitely a very important goal in our, ascension journey, because that's the moment that we are essentially one with God. We have achieved that, beautiful state of oneness. So
that perfect union that we are striving to achieve.
exactly. So this is the goal. And I think like it's very nice to think about yourself and where you are at. And maybe you have like there are like some intermediary goals, on the way that you can kind of strive towards like in your life. And for example, being in union with your twin flame can be, one of the goals that you have along the way on your ascension path as a unionist. Maybe like another goal is, okay, you after union comes harmonious union with your twin flame. And that's like another kind of spiritual achievement or goal along the path of like your perfect, in achieving your perfect union. Another thing maybe that it is, it's like, okay, achieving, finding your life purpose. That's like another goal that you can have, and learning what that is about and how that feels that and how it how can you be in alignment with it. I think like knowing your life purpose and living in alignment with your life purpose can be like really good kind of milestones that you can look forward in your own kind of spiritual progress. And afterwards, I think like once you kind of know yourself a little bit more, it's all about a matter of like identity and who you are and who you choose to be each and every day. Like the moment that you wake up and you go to bed, you choose essentially to operate in a certain way that aligns with an identity. That identity, in a way, it's this accumulation of choices that you're making either consciously or subconsciously. And those choices are currently shaping your reality, right? Because this is another important aspect of being a unionist is, your choices are shaping your reality. You are the creator of your own reality. You are co-creating your experience with God.
Yeah, and I feel like here just to add something about this, that I feel like when we go into this journey and then we co-create with God, we start with where we think we are and who we think we are as an identity. But as we go deeper, we figure out that we are maybe a bit different than what we thought. And that's when our identity maybe changes in the sense of like we discover more of who we are. And at times, like what we saw as well in the spiritual journey, when things start to feel like it's kind of hard or challenging to kind of keep moving forward in a way, it's because usually you might be holding on to identity that's not you. When things start to not function as they should, or like they're not, okay, you heal, you move forward, you experience some peace, but things don't really fit as they should. One of the challenges that we faced recently is actually something like that we had to see what's going on. And we realized through that we were just holding on to this identity and we will kind of keep trying to make that identity work. And it took us some time until we realized, oh, yeah, we're holding on to this identity. And then like moving to let go of that. Because you have to see, like if you're holding on identity that's not for you and you're trying to make it work, it's never going to work out. And you're always going to be frustrated that why doesn't this work? Why does this not move forward? Why is this so hard? Why is this so challenging? And you may fall into this place, maybe even of despair or just feeling like, I don't know, I'm doing everything. But here maybe it's just the shifting to maybe not yourself fully, maybe not accepting yourself fully. I like something that Shaleia said more recently. Maybe you're judging your reality, and that's where you're not accepting your identity of who you truly are.
Yeah. So here, like the point that we want to make here and like want to encourage you to look at is that where in your life maybe you're holding on to like an identity that is not your divine identity, because I think like that's like a thing that we have to like allow ourselves to explore. We explore our choices, we explore our reality, we explore our thoughts and feelings, and we can heal, right? Like we already know, we have the mirror exercise, we have the teachings of union, we have the ability to change, right? But I think like what differentiates like an identity type of like upset, so to say, and just like a normal type of upset is that it feels very destabilizing, like the moment that you approach this particular upset. It's like kind of like one of those core upsets. And since we kind of moved through something like this recently, I wanted to share kind of how this experience felt for us, and maybe you can learn from it and see, okay, how to identify if you hold on to a false identity and how to just let it go, right? And it's, again, like I was speaking about being destabilized, right? And I think like something that comes up here, the first thing in my mind is that when you are in alignment with God, you cannot be destabilized, by anybody and anything, For example, being in harmonious union, I'm pretty sure, like I had people come into my life and tell me, "Oh, Lauren, she's not my twin flame," and I was like, "Oh, well, good for you that you think that." Like I didn't feel anything like emotional there when like somebody told me, "Oh, he's not your twin flame," or what if it's not your twin flame, like being in harmonious union and accepting like our oneness, I have that, kind of certainty, like, yeah, this is the one. I can't go anywhere else. Maybe I have some upsets about it, like still from time to time, which I work through, right? But like there's nothing destabilizing feeling, where I can tell you like before harmonious union, this was a very destabilizing thought, because I didn't have like a certainty in that space yet. I didn't kind of know for sure, that he was my twin flame. And I have been there, I have been in the place where I wasn't so sure, and the only thing that I have done is just continue to do the mirror exercise, continue to like refine my love list, get clear on my core values, watch romance attraction and watch dreams coming through, and like just work through the body of work, like in the teaching, to be able to kind of like arrive at that clarity. But something that I notice is that this happens like in other areas of my life as well. When I approach like a place where I am holding on to like a certain identity, or I don't know, or I feel like I don't know who I am, it can feel very destabilizing. And I think like a trap here is that destabilizing feeling, it's very scary to move through, right? It can feel a lot. Or for us, like I have been particularly vulnerable in this space when I had to like approach moments like this, where I was like, oh my God, I feel like everything will fall apart and I don't know who I am. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on. And, this is why I'm grateful to have the community and my coach to help me move to like moments like this. But moments like this do happen. So if you find yourself in a moment like this, you're not alone. We all, I think, like in this journey, move through something like this. And it's important to like not give up. I think this is just the most important thing. Do not give up and continue healing, and you will have the clarity, right? And what helped me move through this is being honest. Like you have to, like, if you hold on to a false identity, you are holding on to it because there is like a certain benefit that you believe it gives you, right? And you have to allow yourself to explore what that identity is fully and completely in order to be able to let it go. So let's just give some examples so it's not so abstract, in a way. So let's give some examples of like false identity or false beliefs that you can hold on to yourself, right? And how you may hold on to them. One that comes up to mind immediately is like, well, I'm not the person that succeed. Or like, I cannot have, I need to work very hard to have success, or I need to work very hard to have money, or that's an identity. An identity, you associate yourself with poverty to such a degree that you believe that you are that, right? And it's not rocket science to figure out that that's not your divine identity. That is like an ego-based or a fear-based identity that we have gathered. You may have gathered either from your childhood or from past lives. Like, it doesn't really matter where it came from. It matters that you allow yourself to explore what that identity is, so you can let it go, so you can choose like a new identity, right? But I think like the tricky thing is like just acknowledging that, it can feel rather scary. Like, for example, if you have like this identity, like, okay, earning money is like very hard for me, then you have to see like, what do you benefit by holding on to that identity, because the alternative identity is like, I am abundant and earning money is easy, and I earn money from things that bring me joy, and it's a very fruitful process for me to do anything, and I get paid easily. People appreciate me, they appreciate my value, so that's like the alternate identity, which is more in line with your divine identity, right? But you have to allow yourself to explore why might you hold on to a false identity, right? And do so without judgment. I think like that's like really important when you approach these places. Do not judge yourself, do not criticize yourself, do not view it as anything else than just an opportunity for you to get to know yourself and to make new choices so you can have a better life.
Yeah, this is really important here, because it's not about shaming or guilting yourself or blaming, as Alexandra said. It's just a space where you just have to acknowledge where you're at and what you're choosing and why you're choosing the thing that you're choosing. For example, you can see, like with this example that Alexandra gave about like, okay, like making money is hard, or like attracting money is hard. Well, what would that could provide you? Like, what's the benefit? Well, I can give an example of what could be a benefit of people might think they receive. So, for example, they think that, oh, well, if they are in that space, they're feeling like a victim, so they don't have to take responsibility over their life
or their finances,
and someone can come and save them, and they feel good thinking of someone coming and saving them, even though that doesn't really help them, because they believe that they're powerless and they just want others to maybe like pity them. And that's also a form of attention. So, for example, another thing, you think, oh, I'm getting attention. If I'm not good with finances, then people will give me attention and will just love me more, will give me more love. Because then I don't need to do stuff and I just receive love.
Yeah.
But that's not really how it works.
Yeah, exactly. So that's like that example. Let's work on another example that I also kind of struggle with at some point, which is still like a matter of identity. And for me was more related to my life purpose. Because I think like my life purpose was one of those things that, at least for me, I had to kind of like work a little bit to do healing around, to kind of come more into acceptance with it, right? I think like for us, like our relationship was, it was there, it was good. And then like our life purpose was like a huge kind of hurdle for us in the beginning of our journey. And coming to the identity, for example, I was holding on to the identity like I am a software developer. I have worked very hard, like I know like when me and Lau used to talk in the beginning, before we were coaches, before any of this, I had like a very big resistance in kind of becoming an Ascension coach and moving into this part fully, because I was like, well, I took a degree and I was in university and I am a software developer. So therefore, I felt like a lot of like what I have done in the past with getting my degree and like my studies and everything was useless, because now I wanted to take like this whole new direction in life and be an Ascension coach, right? So therefore, I was holding to an identity. I was holding to this identity that I am a software developer, right? And that's it, that's all I am, and it was destabilizing for me, like when I had conversations with Lau in the beginning about, the trajectory of our life purpose and where we wanted to go, because I felt like a real sense of like loss. I felt destabilized. I was like afraid. I had like a lot of feelings to move through related to kind of letting go of this identity and seeing that God was calling me ultimately to do something different, right? And it's not like what I know from like being a software developer is gone and all of that. We know from all life purpose class, and that was one of the things that helped me kind of relax. Like in life purpose class, I know Jeff said that, you know, all the skills that you have in your life that you have accumulated will help you in your life purpose. And that's true. You know, I still use skills right now that I have learned like in university and being a software developer, but I use them in a totally different way right now, which is useful.
And I think like just one thing to mention about that, I remember at the time when she was going through that period, you were kind of feeling like you're getting all the safety from that identity, because that's, you know, like for the life of like going as a student and all of that, and then learning university, just like that's how you earn money afterwards, and that was your foundation was based on that identity.
Yes.
So therefore, when we come to change, it felt kind of scary, because if you let go of that identity, how are you going to be supported? How are you going to?
Yes.
You know?
Yes, and I think this is the key component here that differentiates just an upset versus like a kind of like this identity shift that you go. It's like you feel your foundation is in these things, you know, and if these beliefs that you have are not aligned with God, for example, how me, like I was at that point in my life, I was viewing my job and I was viewing my degree and I was viewing all of these things as my source of safety and as my source of like financial success. And we know better right now, like God is the source, but like moving through making that transition, you know, that was a very kind of scary thing in the moment, because, you know, we are where you were, that everything that is not built on the foundation of God will need to be reconstructed, you know, it will be need to kind of be teared down or reconstructed, or something will happen to it when you choose to build your life with God, right?
Now,
so it's part of the process, like it's just a natural part of the process. Yeah.
Now, just mention that doesn't mean that whatever you're doing right now or the job needs to be teared down. That's not what we're saying.
No.
We're just saying in our case, that wasn't something that was built in the way that, you know, like how God made us or what God wanted for us. So we just had to shift. For you, it might be different, just to make sure.
Yeah, and this is like a thing, like when you do not associate, like when you identify yourself with your divine identity, you know, with your divine self, even if like things happen, you have a certainty like, yeah, this is what God is calling me to do and I am just gonna go, right? But if you hold on, just how I did, I hold on to like the identity that no, I am a software developer, then if God called me to do something else, I would feel like that resistance. I would feel like, what? No, because I am this, you know, and I know because all of these years I have tried to be this, you know, and I know how to be this. And now God is calling me to go just somewhere else all of a sudden. Like, that's scary, you know, but it's the process, you know, and it is like that. Like you will have to like learn how to choose God and have faith in God and move with God in all of these places, and place your identity upon God and place your identity upon your divine self. And then you would feel safe even when God moves you all around, because God may move you. God may take you from where you're at right now, and in 1 year you might be in a totally different place, you know, like we don't know what God will call us to do. But in having that deeper relationship with God and in choosing to draw your safety from your relationship with God and not from like an identity that you put on yourself, that's what creates like real safety, because it comes from within you. It comes from your relationship with God, and it's not dependent on anything else external. And that's like the place that you want to be. That's like how you learn how to cultivate this kind of like divine identity, right? And I think like an important thing with this also, it's just kind of, it's being willing to be humble. I think like I have heard a lot of stories from people in the community, and you know what most of them said? It's like, I didn't think I would end up here. Like when I 10 years ago, you would ask me, no, of course not. I thought I would do something entirely different, And I think like that's in a way like the beauty of it as well is just um we end up here like in places, and it's still good, like it's still beautiful, like for me, like I don't regret the choice that I have made to like kind of align with God and go deeper and pursue like this path. I feel immense like joy and gratitude that I took this path, right? But yeah, it wasn't like, if you would have asked 18 years old Alexandra, hey, where do you think you're gonna be, like I'm but not here, like sounds cool, probably I would have said, but I would have not seen myself like in the past do all of any of these, right? So, and I think like I've seen like even Jeff and Shaleia had like this thing where like I did not want to necessarily be called to do this, and a lot of people in the community kind of, and that I've seen are like, I did not know, I didn't, but God called me, so therefore I'm going. It feels good ultimately, and yeah, there's nothing truly lost, when you follow God, and that's like again, that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, God has you, and as you're moving through your identity healing and coming to deeper who you truly are, then you can build stuff with God to really stay in your life. Because the more you build stuff from a space where you're not building it with God, it will fall down again and again. So therefore, with God, like when you come in that space, because even if, let's say, you go to that path, like, because we moved through this experience recently about like keep choosing this identity that wasn't fully us. So therefore, like things we would build and then fall, build and fall, build and fall. And like, okay, God still supported us even as we moved through that. So even as we were overcoming our challenge of identity, God was still there with us through all of it.
Yes, exactly. And yes, that's like an important thing. Like God will not let you, if you are truly dedicated to the healing, God will keep showing you where to go and what you need to heal. And it's not bad, it's to help you get into greater love and greater alignment. And I know that for me, sometimes I don't see, kind of what's the end of the road, but having that faith, and I think like that's something that keeps me going, like in places where I don't even know what's happening, but I have that faith, like, God is by my side, God is supporting me, it's God's strength moving me through this, not my own. And choosing to partner with God, asking God for help, asking God for love, and yeah, you can move through anything like that, and that is the secret sauce. Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Good. Well, feel complete?
Yep.
Okay, good. Then let's conclude this sermon with our closing prayer and our 3 closing ohms.
Father, I accept your word into my heart. I'll honor your will in my life and will follow you without hesitation anywhere you ask. I know you guide me into your heart, where I belong. I accept that you are everywhere and your teaching is in all things. God, I know you provide me clarity in this teaching of union, that I may be forever in union with you.
I accept that you are in me as you are in my brother. I'll not deny my brother your word and will share your teachings with him in any way you ask and only as you ask. For when I share my salvation with him, I fully claim my salvation and return to you with him. In Christ's name, Om, Amen.
Speaking this prayer in your heart means you have accepted that you're on the path of awakening to your true divine nature. This is what it means to be a unionist. Follow the teaching of union with God wherever you find them and purify our consciousness into perfect union with your Creator.
And now for our closing ohms. Thank you, everybody, for joining us in this sermon. I hope you have a wonderful Sunday and a wonderful week ahead.
Yeah. See you around.
See you. Namaste.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back from the sermon. I hope you guys enjoyed the sermon. I know we definitely did. We definitely got some really nice insights from it. I feel like the part that resonated with me and you the most, that we were both like, oh, that's nice, is whenever they talked about God and like trusting your identity with God, you know, and like knowing that yeah, like your identity is based in your divine identity. So if you're like deluded by egoic identities that you were programmed with growing up, whether that be like being poor, whether that be like uh maybe like, oh, like you're not good enough, or you know, all of these things that you get programmed with, you know, and it's not like anyone's fault, but it's just like where Earth is at right now. So of course we're gonna get programmed with that, but like you're responsible for letting go of those old identities so you can like prosper and stuff like that. So yeah, like we've really resonated with that around the like your divine identity, and yeah, like those beliefs that you have, like what they were saying, like money is hard to make, like it's hard to make money. But like that's just like a belief that you have. So what if you let go of that belief? Like, oh, money is easy to manifest. Like it's easy for me to give value, because obviously if you want to make more money, you need to give more value. So like having that thought of like it's easy to create value for others. It's easy to create value for the world, for society, for myself, all of these things. So yeah, all of those small shifts really do.
Yeah, whatever you believe is what you want to manifest.
Yeah. That was good. That was a good word of wisdom. But yeah, that's true. And
so it's a change of change on mind, or shift and everything.
yeah, like shifting your thought process.
Yeah.
And like I feel like, especially like being a unionist, that is a big way of how we manifest things, is just like letting go of that old baggage and knowing and aligning with, you know, your good, whether that be your union, your harmonious union, your wealth, all of those things. It's really, like that's what we do. We do the mirror exercise. We release old baggage, old thoughts, bad programming, and things really do shift in your reality when you let that go. It's really like not pretty miraculous. It is miraculous. You know, like you don't just, it's like, yeah, it's truly, and even like getting into unionism and learning that new way of being, where like you're not like stuck by whatever the outer circumstances are, but knowing that like you can love yourself from within, and that shifts your outer reality, is really, really empowering. Like that has happened to us so many times where we're like, oh wow, this is terrible, what the heck, and then we just do the inner work and we're like, oh, everything is fine. And either like something changes on our exterior reality once we do the inner work, or like we do our inner work and the exterior reality is the same and we're just like peaceful about it. We're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed this sermon, and I hope you guys have a wonderful Sunday. And I hope that, like this sermon provided value to you guys, because it definitely provided value for us. Laurentia and Alexander did a great job.
Yeah.
We invite you to tithe to the Church of Union at unionism.org. And you can also watch all of our previous videos at the Church of Union YouTube channel. We invite you to join us in After Church Tea Time in the Unionism Spiritual Discussion Group on Facebook, where unionists will gather together and discuss this topic even further. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.